Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about To My Dear and Loving Husband, written by Anne Bradstreet. Now, before I go into summary and analysis of this poem by Anne Bradstreet, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. Now, this poem by Anne Bradstreet is very interesting. There's a lot of things that are being explained within this poem, and it's very interesting because, Anne Bradstreet is writing to her husband and also writing, um, we can just say, thinking or loving or feeling out loud. She's pouring out her emotions to her husband in this poem, how her emotions make her feel and what her husband has done for her. She says within this poem that her and her husband, there's no beginning and there's no end. Is that they're one being, and there's no separation between the two of them, and that they're just one together being, that they love each other mutually. She says that she loves her husband more than gold, more than money, more than material possessions. She says that the love that her husband has poured upon her is something that she cannot understand. It's something that's infinite. It's something that she cannot repay him for. The love, it's intimate, it's profound, it's mind-boggling, the love that she gets from her husband. And she really comforts her husband within this poem by also saying that she loves her husband just the same, and she issues a competition. She says, any other woman on earth who's ever lived, any other love, any great love that has ever been out there, she challenges them. She challenges the women of old, all women, fancy, the aristocracy, the poor, the middle class, the bourgeoisie, whatever you want to say it. She invites all women of all kind, all couples of all kind, to compare their love to her love with her husband. And she says she'll match the best of them. So think about all the wonderful loves of human history, all of the loves of literature. And this is not literature. Anne Bradstreet was a real person. She actually lived. She challenges all the love in existence to challenge her love with her husband, because she believes that she can stand with the best of them. Her love is not, it's not superficial. It's not a love based off of illegitimate means. It's a love that's real, that's deep, that's wide, that has width, and it's something that's unexplainable. And she says that there's nothing on earth, there's nothing that you can use to measure her love. She says that maybe they can spend their entire lives. So she paints this picture towards the end of the poem by saying that one day they'll live their entire lives in bliss. They'll live their entire lives in love and matrimony, and they'll love each other to pieces. And she even hints at the end of the poem that one day, even in eternity, her love between her and her husband can continue forever, and not just end on earth, but continue forever. And so she really paints this picture of her husband, that challenges other poets, male poets that write about their great love with a woman. But this is a turning of tables, because Anne Bradstreet is talking about her great love with her husband and how much she loves her husband, which is it's a time, and it's a piece of, or I can say it's fresh air. This poem is fresh air because we often, in literature, um, we often get the perspective of the husband, or the boyfriend, or the male. But in this version, or in this poem, we get the perspective from a woman, and it's not just her expressing passion. It's not just her expressing content. No, like she's content. She's his love is more than sufficient. She's talking about, she's overwhelmed with love. It's not overwhelmed to the point of suffocation, but it's an overwhelming love that pretty much, she doesn't have words to completely explain it. This love is so pure that she hints that it could last all of eternity. And that it's mutual. It's not just how her husband makes her feel, it's how she makes, she hopes that she makes her husband feel about the love that she gives to him and the love that he gives to her. There's no recompense, there's no way she can repay it, there's no way that she can give him something to repay him for that type of love. And she even, she prays, she tells us that she prays within this poem for God to bless her husband because of how much love that her husband has poured upon her. And again, we have to keep in mind that Anne Bradstreet is a Puritan. They believe in God, they believe in Christ. And in the Bible, I mean, you have the greatest love stories of old. And Christ is the greatest love story where he talks about, that husbands should love their wives as Christ loved the church. Now, this really makes us think, and you can really think about it because, this woman is from a religious Christian background. And a lot of American writing, a lot of early American writing is founded in the Bible. Because every writer, every great writer of the 16th, 17th, 18th century, because we have to remember that the Bible was the first book printed to the masses. And so all of the great writers, the first book that they read was the Bible. In fact, some writers, they learn how to read and write by reading and copying the Bible. And so this brings to light the verses in the Bible when it says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. And Anne Bradstreet here in this poem, she's giving us a real depiction of that verse in this poem, because she's saying that her husband loves her so much that it's overwhelming, she can't pay it back. And that, again, that has echoes of sayings of the Bible. Love that can't repay, that can be paid back, love that's overwhelming, love that's all consuming, but it's not suffocating. Love that you're thankful for, that you don't know how to repay back, that there's nothing that you can do to pay it back. She writes about that, and she writes this love that can last for eternity. And it's also, the other thing that you get from this poem is that it's a poem of thanks, that she's also thanking God and also thanking her husband for being such a great husband, for loving her, and even though that they might separate in death, when death comes, she even has hope for the life to come, because she truly believes that, that their love can last even after death, which is a great thought right there. So no material gains, nothing can compare to her love. Nobody on earth can compare to her love. No great love of old can compare to her love. Her love is pure. Her love is vast. Her love is wide. It's deep. It's tall. However you want to say it. She is challenging anybody who thinks that they have a better love than she has with her husband. So yeah, that's my summary and analysis of this poem by Anne Bradstreet. Please remember to give a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.